Welcome back to this episode of The Sugar Show. I'm your host, Shannon the Sugar Mama, and my job is to bring you my most talented friends in this beauty industry, and this episode does not disappoint. You are going to hear from Kelly Callaghan, who is one of the sassiest guests that I have had. I absolutely adore her. But what I love about her is how she's grown her business, and it really truly does complement what we're doing as sugaring professionals. She has a brand neutral certification, which you will learn about, and I get a lot of questions from folks about what they can do to add to their sugar business to build revenue. So sit back and enjoy, or take a walk with your dog and enjoy a little bit of Kelly Callaghan. Hello. Welcome back to this episode of The Sugar Show. This is going to be a very fun episode because I have another Irish girl, Kelly Callaghan, here with me. What? And you might not understand why we are talking about spray tanning in this episode, but there are so many lessons to be learned and really complementary niches to be explored. So Kelly she started her international spray tan business, and she went from 0 to multiple 6 figures with her little spray tan gun. And she is here to talk to us about spray tanning as a business, about hanging in there with your business, and about how we can collaborate together to really take our business to the next level in 2020 and beyond. So Kelly, welcome, girl.
Thank you, Irish sister. I love it.
Right.
Awesome. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk with your girls and get to know everybody.
Yeah, so a little bit about you is when you left beauty school, you tried to do a little bit of all things, and you are actually an iSugarU student.
Yes, I am. Proud.
But talk about that experience when you came out of school and you were learning to sugar and all of the things, and how you felt back then.
Yeah, so I started off my business just spray tanning. So I was doing mobile spray tans, and it was just one thing. I was, focused on it. It was pretty easy to build a business for me just because I'm on social media and I love chatting with people and doing all the things. But I realized very quickly, getting into the educational space of the spray tanning industry, that I wanted to get my license to really understand the skin. So I did that. I got my license. I graduated. And like most of you guys know, once you do that, you are just excited to do all the things.
All of the things.
All of the things. So I was doing facials, waxing, lashes, teeth whitening, spray tans, sugaring, everything that I could possibly get my hands on, I was trying to do. And I realized very quickly, once I started implementing all of those services into my business, that it wasn't going to be a good situation if I kept on going in the way that I was going, because it didn't feel good anymore.
Yeah.
So I started kind of purging. I call it the purge, and I do this quite often, actually. I look at my business and I'm like, what is working? What is not working? What do I love? What do I not like? And I started letting go, unapologetically letting go of the things that don't really align with my bigger vision. So I got rid of pretty much everything except for lashes, spray tans, and teeth whitening. Stuck with those 3.
Okay. All right. So talk about so you decide to narrow it down, mm-hmm. and how do you take your little business from 0 to multiple figures? Explain kind of that journey and how long it took you.
Yeah, it was really interesting because I don't have any knowledge of being a business owner. I don't have any friends. I didn't have any friends or family members when I first started that were business owners. I went into this so blindly and so with just faith that it was going to work out. There was no plan B. There was no plan C. I was just going to make it work. And I think first and foremost, having that mindset of that belief that I can make this happen, I just have to work hard at it. Having that belief instilled in my mind on a consistent basis gave me the motivation and the energy to figure it out as I went along. Mm-hmm. So I started just doing mobile spray tanning, and within 6 months, I started renting out a room out of a salon. And I started researching all kinds of things that had to do with marketing and small business growth and how to get clients in and networking and doing all of these things that I was not used to doing. So a lot of it was very uncomfortable. But as I started unraveling and started going through the process of it, I started noticing, okay, this is working. This is working. Asking for referrals is working. And I'm actually enjoying the process of learning how to become a business owner. Then when I realized, there could be more done in this industry, because in spray tanning, there's not many educators, or there weren't any educators when I first started. There wasn't any marketing assistants, business assistants, nothing like that. So as I was paving my way, I decided to start mentoring women on how to start their own spray tanning business. And I thought, I could actually start charging for this. I can make a business out of this. And within about 6 to 9 months or so of starting my spray tanning business, I realized that I can create a program to help women in the beginning stages of their journey. And so I started thinking outside the box, and that's when spray tan class came up in my mind. And I started training these women and doing it for really cheap, training them, getting them situated, letting them know that it's not just the technical aspect of the business. You also have to become a business owner through marketing and things like that. And so together, we were able to really help one another, essentially. And within about 2 years, I was able to grow what was at just like free mentorship, essentially, that I was doing in the beginning, into a multi-6-figure spray tan class business. And part of that was obviously keeping up with the salon and things like that. So it was quite the journey. But I think, again, going back to just what I think helped was just that mindset and thinking creatively and thinking outside of the box, outside of what was normal, which would have been just stay spray tanning and just do that. But there are opportunities everywhere, even through, the obstacles that are COVID. And I'm sure we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's provided quite a challenge for people that are starting out like you were, and for people that have been doing this for years and years and years. And keeping our focus is really, truly been put to the test this year, hasn't it? Because we're not quite sure which parts to focus on, because the needle keeps changing, the goalpost, we're trying to get there, and it keeps changing. And they haven't written a manual for this part, right? Right. So we have to really just take a breath. And it sounds like you and I were going on similar journeys, but you had a spray gun in your hand and I had a sugar ball in my hand.
Yeah.
We were going through similar things. So talk to me a little bit about spray tanning as an opportunity. I think what's really important right now in this 2020 and beyond is to really focus on a niche and bringing in potentially, which is why I brought you here, another complementary niche that can really help with that loyalty, with that consistent money that comes in. Like my clients come in every single month religiously. And I feel like spray tanning is one of those things that you can easily add on to really boost that ticket and to give that client that instant gratification, that brown sugar, so to speak, So talk about how you see spray tanning as a complement to what estheticians are doing now.
Yeah, so we work with a ton of licensed professionals. We work with cosmetologists, we work with estheticians, lash artists, people who are looking to grow their revenue streams, right? So when they come to take our course, they typically are focused in on 1 or 2 other services, so lashes or sugaring or waxing or facials even. And so what we try to do is allow them the opportunity to create more revenue through adding on a service like spray tanning. Yeah. Spray tanning is extremely, extremely quick. It's easy add-on. And if you already have the client base, it's such an easy transfer from the clients that you currently have to purchase into, try out even just spray tanning. I think that a lot of beauty services complement each other. So why wouldn't you add on if you could? Especially when it only takes about 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Great time management is to say, okay, if I have a half an hour, let's do a half an hour bikini and a half an hour spray before you see the next client, and it's really easy to do. And we talked before the show about how you actually can spray tan in these times because the artist can, especially when they're skilled, can wear a mask during the treatment.
Right. And I've actually always taught with a mask. So there's no change in the way that we perform the services other than, giving them the option to like check temperature or COVID, like sanitation release forms, that type of thing. But other than that, it's very similar to what we have been doing because obviously you want to be professional. You want to wear gloves. You want to have the mask. You want to protect yourself and your client. You want to have all the release forms and things like that. So I think it's very similar to sugaring. And also what I was going to mention too is that I know that with sugaring, it's such a low cost to start up and to offer the service. Same thing with spray tanning. I think it costs about $5 more or less with a high quality solution. And we charge about $50 to $60 for an in-salon treatment.
What a great ticket builder with not a lot more time.
Right.
I mean, it really is. And I know that in your certification course, you really go through the proper technique and tips and tricks, like, the intake forms that you need to have and how you should prepare the room. And you really are thorough, like we are with Ice Sugar University. You really are thorough on not just, oh, here's the patterns for getting a 6-pack, on a Dancing with the Stars guy, like here really is the real reality of building your business. And I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sanitation and, being safe as an artist and for your clients as well. It's extremely important, especially because spray tanning in many states isn't regulated. So you don't need a license to do it, which to me, I mean, there's good things and bad things about it, but what that means for us at spray tan class is that we really have to hone in on the sanitation education part of it because they don't teach that. Like a lot of artists don't know that, so.
Right. So they just have at it and they're not really even aware of what they should be protecting themselves and their clients from.
Right.
Yeah. I'm interested in, I think about you and your niche and me and my niche. And I'm interested in, because you said that spray tanning, you don't have to be licensed. I would imagine there are spray tanners all over the place, especially you're in Southern California. There's spray tanners everywhere, right? And I'm interested in asking you how you have seen your industry grow and what you have found is kind of the best mentality, being one of many spray tanners, so to speak, when it comes to being a business owner, because we talked a little bit before the show about how really truly collaboration is so important in the niche that we're in, opposed to competition. So tell me about what you're seeing with the spray tan world.
It's very interesting. One of the reasons why I created the Facebook group Beauty Business Babes, which you're a part of and how we connected, is because I did see a lot of competition. I saw a lot of scarcity mindset. I saw a lot of people really struggling with, bashing others and being bashed and all of these things. So even myself, starting the spray tan class program, I've had this so many times where people are like, you're not good enough. You're not experienced enough. You're not this enough. But I was already growing my business to further than people that were in the industry for 5, 10, 15 years. Right. So in my opinion, it's not so much about the experience or the timeline, I should say. It's more about like, how are you conducting yourself as a professional and as a business owner? Are you growing or are you just staying where you're at? So I hate to see when the bashing happens and when people are too scared to approach others that are in the same industry, because what can happen when you do that, when you open up and you're like, hey, you know what, I'm in the same industry as you. How can we help each other grow? Yeah. There's so much beauty and so much magic that can happen in those conversations that you would have never known about or had if you didn't open up. So I was like that though in the beginning. So I get where the scarcity mindset comes in. Right. It's like, I there's not enough to go around, or she might take clients from me or whatever. Now that I've had like a complete switch of perspective in that regard, I have been able to, find people to help me elevate in my own business as I help them. So it's kind of just like, this exchange of energy where you meet people and you want the best for them. And because of that, they naturally, more likely than not, unless they're an a-hole, they're going to want the same for you.
Yeah.
So it's all about the mindset. It's all about, understanding that there's scarcity and then there's an abundant mindset that you can focus on, and you can choose which one you show up in. So for me, it's always about the abundant mindset. How can we help each other? How can we serve one another? And if it's not a good fit because there's different personality types, and that's okay. You can just go along your way.
Yeah. I'm going to make a t-shirt that says, abundance, just mindset, and if we can all come to the table in anything that we do with that mindset to really there's plenty of bodies to spray. I tell people there's plenty of hoo-haws to sugar. I can't sugar them all. So let me teach you how to do it, because there are so many people to service. And that's what's beautiful about both of our niches, is there's so much beauty there, and there really can be so much abundance if we put away that negative, put that scarcity on the shelf, and really help each other to make it happen, for sure.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about where you see Beauty Business Babes going, because you have this amazing podcast where you bring in these dynamic babes. Again, I think we're cut from the same cloth. We feed off of just the energy and the abundance of the whole thing. Talk to us about Beauty Business Babes. And obviously my sugar world is going to subscribe to your podcast now, because it'll be in the show notes. But talk to us about what your vision is for that, and where you're going to take this in 2021.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because Beauty Business Babes started in, I believe, 2016, 2017. And it started off as a Facebook group. I had no idea what it was going to be. I was like, Beauty Business Babes, we'll just put it out there and see what happens. And slowly but surely, it started growing year after year after year. And now we have 7,000 women that are part of that group. So
I love it.
Yeah, so it was really fun. It was all organically grown. I never did Facebook ads or anything like that for it. And I, again, didn't really have full focus in on the vision, because I wasn't sure what that looked like at the time. But now going into this and seeing how many people really love the group and how much it's positively affected other people's lives, because we do bring in a lot of the, mindset talks and marketing talks and things like that. The vision for it is to continue just honing in on that brand, because I actually was going in that direction, and then I kind of got a little bit distracted when personal things started happening. So now that I'm back, I'm full focused in on the Beauty Business Babes brand and building it into, the podcast, the Facebook group. We have a live event that we had in 2019 that was so much fun. It was all about mindset and marketing for beauty business professionals. And now going into what is COVID now, we created a virtual event, which happened in early August. So that was a hit as well, just bringing in all kinds of different beauty business professionals that were helping women essentially just level up in their mindset and marketing, which is the goal. That is the entire goal for it. We want everyone to succeed through mindset and marketing, because oftentimes, through our programs, it's very technical, which is fine. We need to learn the technique, but what about the missing pieces like mindset and marketing that are so, important to learn as a business owner?
Yeah. And it's going to be so critical coming out of these COVID times into a new shift, right? To have your mindset right. Not just say it or wear the shirt, but really feel it in your cells, to really bring in the abundance, to bring in the knowledge and the wisdom of marketing, and to really take your sugar biz, your spray tan biz to the next level, and really listen to those like you and like me that have seen great success and kind of take your business to the next level as well. I love it. And I love the sisterhood that you really are bringing rising up. You're really doing that with such grace, and it's really fun to just watch people grow. Like you're growing while you're growing others, you're watering that garden, and you're really growing too. And by the way, it's okay to have those life things happen, like have a baby and save up enough to buy your own big old house, your big old dream house. And that's really a testament to focusing, knowing that you can do it, listening to those that have gone before you, and congratulations to you for taking that to the next level.
Thank you so, so much. It's been a crazy, crazy roller coaster. And even just hearing like introductions, like when we were talking earlier, I have to pinch myself because I didn't know going into this what everything was going to be. Like I just had the faith that it was going to work out, and I just didn't think it was going to be this good. So I'm really, really grateful first and foremost. And I don't know where we're going, in like 2021, 2022 and beyond, but I know it's going to be good. So I think that's what you have to have.
It's all right. As long as you know it's going to be good, you put a smile on that face and move forward, it's going to be great. So for those of you that are walking the dog or listening to this on the treadmill or wherever you're at, please take a moment to listen to the Beauty Business Babes podcast. Kelly is just a rock star inspiration, as you're hearing here. But she's been in your shoes. And she really does know what it feels like and addresses those issues, very similar to how we do in the Sugar Show. And I really want to make sure that you all consider, if you are amazing at sugaring and you've kind of hit a plateau, you've got your clientele, you've hit this plateau, you're sugaring them every month, but you really want to take your biz, kind of kick it up a notch, I think you should consider doing a little brown sugar and getting involved with the spray tan class. I think that's a really, really great add-on that we'll be talking about for a while to come. So Miss Kelly, thank you so much for being a part of the Sugar Show.
Thank you, Miss Shannon. I really appreciate it. It was really, really fun. I have not been on a Sugar Show yet, so this is my first time. You popped my cherry.
Oh, well, we are going to use you and abuse you more often, sister. Don't you worry about that. We're going to bring you on and have you do some a little more inspiration that's a little more specific. So thank you for your first episode, and I'm so glad I could be there for your first time.
Yes, girl. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a fabulous, fabulous day, Sugar World, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.